I'm going to show you real quick how to do this design. And I'm probably going to edit it a little bit because I'm noticing there is a little bitty white speck right there, and it's probably going to end up being deleted here when you go to cut this file out. So we're going to do a multi-deck wording. I tried using design, but the way the letters were, it wouldn't have looked really good. So hope you all enjoy this. So first thing we're going to do is go in and delete all that. So here we go. Easiest thing to do is choose the impact font. So ignore my phone. I have been getting a lot of phone calls this morning. So let's enlarge our image. We're going to go to about 10. Most shirts you want to do about 9.5, and I'm going to show you why here. We want to get rid of all these gaps and these spaces right here. So we're going to come over here to our character spacing and shrink those up a little bit. You want to do them really close but not touching, and that looks pretty good there. So next thing we're going to do is copy and paste there, and the reason why is because if you notice all your character spacing is already closed. You could come over here, Word, create a new word. You'd have to select it, go to character spacing and shrink it up. But since the format of the word is already here, I just use that. So, and I tried using the word design earlier and it didn't come out really well. So, we're going to go into wording. Let's move this over a little bit so we're lined up, and we need to get our edges pretty close. And you want to get your letters up pretty close to almost touching. That looks pretty good. We're about even right there and pretty even over here. So we're going to go and select both of our images, and we want to convert it to or make a compound path. And one of the reasons why I like doing this is because if you see your boxes around each of your words, your box is way up here on the top and way down here. And right now, Silhouette is reading this image as 3.3, 3.7, about 7 by 9.1, and that is incorrect. So if we make a compound path, you'll notice that our actual design is 4.7 by 9.1. And so that'll help you, especially when a lot of people go to cut their designs out on their mats. They're wondering why your words got cut off or why the image wasn't cut out on your mat. So we're going to go back to about 9.5. Like I said, this is a good t-shirt size for an average shirt. I just did a design for my little nephew who is 7 years old, and I did about 6 on the width. So this is pretty good. Next thing we want to do is we're going to import our image. So I'm going to come over here to my designs. I just pulled out a baseball only because I have to do a couple baseball shirts later on. So let's enlarge our image. That looks pretty good. I don't want to go here, and the reason why, because it's actually going to crop that little piece, and then one, you're either going to be missing the tip of the T, or it's not going to cut, or it's going to cut that small piece of vinyl and it's going to drag it across your mat, and you're going to be wondering what the heck happened. So let's move it a little bit more this way. That looks pretty good. And the first thing we want to do is we want to come up here and we're going to offset it. If you're going to do just a word and an object design, we want to do a 0.1 on your offset. If you're going to do a rhinestone and add a rhinestone like I've done on my shirt, you're going to do an offset of 0.08, hit apply, and then you're going to go back and do another offset and do 0.08 and apply. And I can do that in a different design and show y'all later on. So first thing we're wanting to do here is let's add some color to this because you're going to need to choose colors in order to work this design. So let's go and choose our actual object here. And we've got to do red, it's baseball. And then we're going to choose our offset. For some reason, I like choosing this lime green as the back color. I don't know why. And then let's choose our words. So let's go blue. Just to choose that. Got red and green. We got Christmas here going on. Okay. So first thing we want to do is we want to add a second multi-deck wording layer on here. So we're going to go to, we're going to choose our words. We're going to come up here to replicate. And if you look over here, most of the time this advanced options is going to be closed and you want to open this up. Scroll down a little bit. We want to do same position and then replicate. And that's going to drop another image, if you notice, right on top of each other. So let's choose our multi-deck wording. We're going to come up here to our fill. Let's choose pink. So if you notice, I have two layers on top of each other. All right, so we're going to choose multi-deck wording, our pink. You want to choose our top color. You're going to hold your shift, and we want to grab our red from our object. And we want to come over here to this modify. If you look over here, there's modify. And we want to crop. And so if you notice, we actually have our blue color here. Then we want to grab our blue, which was our original color. We want to grab our green, which was our actual offset color. So you want to make sure to grab the offset. We want to come over here to our modify, which should still be open. And then we want to click subtract. And there you go. Now, if we noticed that our baseball color has actually turned to pink, that's part of the crop and subtract. So in order to change this back to red, we want to come down here to this little box down on the bottom left that says select by color. And this is actually going to select all the colors in here because if you notice, when we did all this cropping and subtracting, all of our words split up and it ungrouped everything. So let me put that back in place. We hit the select by color, and your design edition is actually going to be defaulted to by line color. So we want to click on the by fill color, and you'll notice there's our three colors, blue, red, and pink. We want to grab everything that's pink, and if you notice, it's selected our baseball design. We're going to come up here to fill, and we're going to turn that back to red. Actually, hang on one second. Change it back to pink. We still have red on here. Oh, ignore that. That's just picking up that design up there. Okay. So that's right. Actually, let's change that to a different color. All right. So I'm going to grab everything that's pink. We're going to change it to red because we have our baseball in red. All right, so there you go. Now, in order to actually cut this out in your vinyl, you're going to be printing out blue and red. And one of the reasons why we offset this is because when you go to print this on a shirt, you want to see your shirt kind of popping through. So, for example, let's create a box so we can imagine what our shirt's like. So we, black shirt. Okay, so we're going to select that. We're going to send to back so you can actually see what this would look like on a shirt. So there you go. Now, when you go to actually cut this out in your vinyl cutter, we're going to come over here to cut. We don't want to cut everything at the same time, obviously. So we're going to click on Advanced, and then it's probably going to be defaulted to Layers. So we which is normally how we've all been cutting. We want to click on the fill color, and you'll notice we have black. We're not going to cut that, so I'm just going to take that off. We have our blue and our red, and obviously you're not going to cut the black because that's the shirt. You're going to be cutting your blue and your red. So you can come over here, and we're only going to be cutting our blue first. So let's unclick the red. And if you notice, you only have cut lines around the blue. And it's set to heat transfer, and you can come over here and select this, and you can actually change it. And then you're going to feed this through your cutting mat and your cutter, let it cut. And then when you come back, you can deselect the blue, click on the red, and if you'll notice, there's only cut lines around the red because it's selecting by the color. And then you can cut that, and then of course you go layer. When you decide to press this down, you want to put your blue words first because this is your big design, and you want to make sure that it's level on the shirt. Then you want to add in the red. So I hope this helps everybody, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I will try to help out. I hope this helps everybody.